Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to my channel. This issue, I'm hoping to drop this video around June 24th. For people that obviously know what that is, I think it's gonna be like the 17th year anniversary of the Benoit tragedy. So I have this magazine, and I figure since we're on this anniversary, this tragedy, let's look back at this magazine. This magazine is also special because it's inside wrestling and the wrestler together. You know, flip it over. It's the wrestler of Randy Orton, the legend killer, and Chris Benoit, the regular killer. But I'm just going to focus on the Chris Benoit tragedy side of the magazine, the Inside Wrestling magazine, not the wrestler. So first, I just hope you like to like, subscribe, comment if you like what you see. So let's open up the magazine. Yeah, this is horrible, man. Cause I was like the biggest Chris Benoit fan ever, and for him to do this, it was shocking. Like, there's nothing in the world that can shock me now. After that, I'm like, if aliens walk on Earth, I would not be as shocked as hearing that Chris Benoit murdered his wife and his son. I was like devastated. So, so sincerely yours. The letters, the fans write the letters. Names making the news. You know, these are the up to date stories. And also, a lot of other around this time, after during the Benoit tragedy, a lot of other wrestlers passed away too. Like the Missing Link passed away, and Carl Gotch passed away. Crush, Brian Adams passed away. John Cronus passed away. The referee Bronco Lubridge, you know, from World Class, the slowest rough, slowest rough, and Ron P. Gossip, that manager from Memphis. You know, so a lot of guys had passed away around this time, and they're talking about it in this article right here. Data on the Sandman and Senshi, aka Loki, on the road. And this article just talks about, you know, what Chavo must be going through. You know, first losing Eddie, then 2 years later losing Chris. You know, that must be heavy on his heart. You know, having to deal with that. The Insider, and here they're talking about the media's coverage of this story and how a lot of the media got it wrong, and a lot of them were blaming just strictly steroids and roid rage, and you know that Nancy Grace interview. If you saw that, man, that was just a whole lot of wrong information. So they were just talking about the media's coverage of this and how they should do better and learn the topic you're discussing. Oh, the capsule profile on Batista. Whatever happened to Rocket Monroe? Now, I never heard of him. I heard of Sputnik Monroe, and I think he was supposed to be Sputnik's brother. So, but you know, I had to read this because I didn't really know anything about this guy. You know, most of these articles are just talking about their shock and awe of this situation. Like, who would have ever guessed Chris Benoit would murder Nancy, woman, and his son? Like, it's crazy. And they talk about how can you separate it? Can you still watch a Chris Benoit match now? And I know for a lot of people they can't. A lot of people are like, fuck that dude. And me personally, I I want to remember him for being a good wrestler. So I want to try to remember that, remember that about him. But I can understand anybody that's like, fuck that dude. So, like say in the comments, can y'all still watch a Chris Benoit match? Or if not, tell me in the comments. And these are some of the pictures of the wrestlers that passed away recently, like Crush and Carl Gotch. Some guy named Boogie Woogie Brown. I never heard of him. And of course, John Kronus. Bronco Lubridge, when he was wrestling, he was an actual wrestler. And there's a lady wrestler. I'm not sure of her name. I cannot even pronounce it, but it's this lady right here, and she passed away too around that time of 2007. Of course, Ronnie P. Gossett, I should say, and Tor Kamada. So this right here, they kind of, because one of the things they talked about was should they be given, like, because they kind of give a little picture tribute to Benoit, and it was like, should they, in the magazine, the editors were arguing, should they even give a little tribute to him? But they do, so little picture tribute, or just basically just showing the highlights of his career through pictures. Him versus Owen Hart, him and Dean Malenko, him versus Adam Bomb, him versus Johnny B. Bad. And of course, they give a video tribute to woman, Nancy. And the first time I saw Nancy was during the thing with Rick Steiner when she was Robin Green. And, I had no idea, that she would become woman. Like, I thought she was really this geeky girl. Even though she still looked pretty, but just with glasses on and her hair tied up. Ugh. It, and, it's funny, I had no idea that she was married to Kevin Sullivan. I remember in ECW they was doing this one skit where it was her, it was woman, and it was Cactus Jack, and the woman was like, "People say they don't know who's more sadistic, me or my husband," and then Cactus was like, "I don't know whose guts I hate more, you or your husband." And I'm thinking, who the heck is her husband? I had no idea, and it wasn't until she really got to WCW that I realized that she was Kevin Sullivan's husband. Because Kevin Sullivan's wife. I had no idea. Yeah, woman oh woman, won't you marry me now? Now these are the quotes from some of the people. Like here's quote a lot of the quotes of people, wrestlers, and people talking about the tragedy. Quote from Vince McMahon: "Everyone in this organization, to my knowledge, are well-adjusted family people. There was no way of telling that this man was a monster. No way whatsoever." That's from Vince McMahon, 2007. Kurt Angle: "I talked to Chris, and he did not want to continue to wrestle the 250 days per year. He wanted to wrestle a lot less. He was getting beat up, and I think in the end that started to get to him." William Regal: he asked for the time off last year. He was given 4 months off, and no matter what anyone wants to say, if he had any problems, he could have taken care of them in those times. He could have asked for help. If he chooses not to ask, there's nobody else that can help him. Chavo Guerrero, he was such a good person. It's just so out of character for the guy. He was always calming me down, telling me, hey, it's not worth it. Just walk away. Okay, John Cena, this was an unexplainable tragedy that lasted for nearly 2.5 days. I don't see an out of control rage being responsible for that. But then again, I don't think we'll ever find out what exactly caused this. So just a bunch of different people that had something to say, had to comment on the situation. Like, yeah, these once again the editor's thoughts on everything that went down and the shock, and talk about his career, the legacy that he totally destroyed by committing this horrible act. Yeah, that picture at WrestleMania, man, with him and Eddie Guerrero, just one of the greatest moments in WrestleMania history, and it's will never air again. Never, never, ever air again. Okay, so now this is about Candice LeRae. Candice Michelle. I don't ever remember her being the new Trish Stratus, but I can't remember back then. That Benoit thing just totally messed up my mindset of anything that happened during that period. Okay, the hot seat interview with Mark Henry. Ain't nothing slowing me down. World's strongest man. Editors Roundtable. Should WWE consolidate to one world title? Nope. I mean, because they just keep with the brand split. It's no use having one title. You need titles so everybody can fight for, in my opinion. The timeline of King Booker. Yeah, I remember when Ebony Experience came on Global Wrestling the first time I saw them. And I hear that story when they came to WCW, they were dressed like some slaves and chains. They were dressed and had chains on or something, being shackled, being accompanied to the ring. That's crazy that whoever thought of that idea. And good thing that it didn't come out. Glad that somebody had some sense to change that. Booker had a good run. I never expected him to have this great of a run. I mean, not that I thought he was bad. I just didn't expect it though. But I'm glad he did. He had a great run, great career. The roll call of champions. Some missing issues. I mean, some back issues. Okay, and the picture, and if you remember the Wow magazine that came out in the late '90s, and I think Pro Wrestling Illustrated wound up buying it out, and I guess they're using their logo, the Wow logo. And then Kurt Angle. This is the end of this Inside Wrestling magazine. I guess then the next one will be flipped over and will become the wrestler. But that was when I just wanted to go over the Benoit tragedy because the anniversary is coming up. So if you have any thoughts about it, can you still watch Benoit matches, or can you not separate it and think he's a horrible person? Just like to know in the comments. So thank you. Please like and subscribe. And thank you. And I will see you again.